Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first pitch event at the Go Global World. And I'm super excited to have all of you, already 75 people in our Zoom meeting today. And everybody is going to pitch. We will have some rules in place. And just a quick update on the recent pitch we had 2 weeks ago. We had 3 soft commitments and about 10 people with next follow-ups with investors, which is crazy. I think this is just what's happening, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm hoping it will lead to real investments soon, and make sure to follow the rules and definitely use your chance when investors would be willing to connect with you. So provide all the necessary information so they would invest. Now, because we are organizer and sponsor of this event, I will show you a few slides quickly and tell you about Go Global World, and we will kick off today's session. First of all, we are digital Silicon Valley ecosystem for global founders and investors and advisors, and you now see the updated website of Go Global World that is just being published yesterday, I think. And now we have specific plans for startups, investors, advisors, and for each stage, there is a specific plan that meets your specific goals. And if you so early, you still have a chance to join our global community because there is something we always can help you. This is the dashboard you will get access to with everything you need for your startups, and we keep improving it so we make your life easier as startup founders or other members who are trying to achieve specific goals running your businesses. Now, those who are part of our network can participate not only in the today's pitch event, but also a separate pitch program, Pitch to Global Investors, that is free of charge, but only for members, where we bring selected investors from around the world and specifically for selected startups. Just go on our website when you get a chance and learn more about that. This is just a quick snapshot of a few investors that are participated in our demo days. That's like really serious investors as today's ones, and these are the venture funds that are participating. And these are the global advisors that are participating before you meet the investors. So they give you a lot of feedback. So before you meet investors, and so you get a chance to be in the best version of yourself in front of investors you will teach. Now, these are the startups alumni who already went through the program. Many of them raised capital, and so that's exciting. So we hope you would be one of those who would be raising as well and get on this success board. Now, those who participate in our platform as members, they all get perks, and we partner with the best companies of the world to give you a chance to get either free access to their services or at super discounted rates, the perks. And if you know specific services you want, we will go to those companies and we will negotiate so they will give it to you because you are a member of Go Global World. Now, there is specific 2 perks I just want to emphasize, and the past 2 events I was emphasizing that. This is a recent partnership we got with Brex, probably one of the best banks in the US, including Mercury. I also like that Brex gives up to $600 on opening the account in there, which is, I think, a really good deal. And 50% on Xero accounting software to automate your accounting, and for 6 months. It's also a great incentive for founders to manage and automate their accounting efforts. We are giving access to the knowledge, and for example, some of the investors were speakers in here. So for example, you can see Ken in here and Angelica, and others probably would speak hopefully someday. The people are giving you access to specific algorithmic steps to do something, building your company, not to inspire you. Forget about inspiration. We want you to get things done. And that's why we do this short videos, sometimes long videos, so you can apply it in your business. We have specific services for startup founders. We incorporate companies in any state, C Corps and LLCs. We file your taxes. We do your accounting, wherever you need for your business. We take away your headaches so you can become the best version and the best product for your own customers. And so you forget about those administrative things. We also publish specific videos on how to do expenses, how to file taxes. It's on our YouTube channel, free of charge. Just go for it. If it can help you save money, specific consultants, just go for it. It's very detailed, and we try to not to hide any steps, so you can apply. And many entrepreneurs already applied and saved a lot of money. Right now, we are launching a new product, which is called GGW Matching, where we would match, like in Tinder, startups, investors, and advisors. And so I'm inviting you to become beta testers on our app. Everyone today can just go on our specific link. Lechazar will share it with you. It's app.goglobal.world. And there you can subscribe as a beta tester, and we'll give you access just following the steps in there. And finally, today is again our weekly GGW Shark event. It's every Thursday every week, except for the second week of every month. We do it on Fridays, and the other weeks are on Thursdays. Today we have three awesome investors joining today: Jordan Walberg, SV Venture Group, Zamir Shuho, Vibranium Venture Capital, Ken Ma, Gamas Ventures, Duran Davis, MND Ventures, and Angelica Maroon, Deutsche Swiss Asset Management Limited. So I'm really excited to welcome our investors, and we have specific rules for today. So please, everyone, follow it. It's just important to make this event efficient. So please keep yourself muted all the time. This is super important. Otherwise, you will distract others, and it may just impact the event. Except for investors, of course. Investors, please keep yourself always unmuted, just because you are the main people here. Raise your hand to pitch, and you will have 2 minutes for your elevator pitches. Please respect your time. And also keep in mind, this is a 2-hour event maximum. And GGW members will pitch first. And if you don't make it to pitch today because of time ran out, just email us here at info@goglobal.world, and for the next week we'll put you first. We'll give you priority over other participants, just because we want you to get a chance to pitch, and you will, and we'll make sure you get it. And of course, this is also a networking event, so you please exchange your contacts, network, help out each other. This is a global network, so please make connections and help out one another. And I just wanted to say that we have my partner, GGW moderator, Lechazar Zanev. He's going to be on the background managing the event, and also be on the background as well. So most of the information will be and communication will be from Lechazar on our chats. If you have any questions, just go to him, he will help. So that's it on my end, and I'm happy to kick off today's session. And Lechazar, do you have anyone from Go Global World members to start today's
Yes. Yes, I think that if David Mead is ready, David can pitch Terra Bioworks.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. So hello, I'm David Mead, the CEO of Terra Bioworks. We have pioneered a synthetic biology platform that is 100 times faster and more precise than pharma methods to discover and manufacture bioactive natural products that are beneficial to humans, plants, and animals. We can dramatically reduce manufacturing costs of existing drugs and discover new ones faster. We also have strong IP revenues and are looking to raise $3 million in a Series A round at a $10 million valuation. We are only one of 2 companies worldwide with these synthetic biology capabilities, and we are the only one addressing near-term drug production problems, which is a much faster and more affordable timeline to revenues. Other SynBio firms are chasing drug discovery, which is a 20-year, billion-dollar quest. Our go-to-market strategy is to reduce the costs of goods for very expensive drugs such as cyclosporin and plodepsin, saving $1 billion in manufacturing costs. And we will be establishing new gene-based manufacturing IP worth hundreds of millions of dollars for one compound, and we can obviously repeat that for others. One licensing deal could be worth 100 million in revenue per year. And the exit strategy is to develop the overproducing drug strains that I mentioned, patent protect them, and license or sell the asset for 9 figures, 100-fold ROI. So obviously we can do this for more than one compound. And one of our goals is to try to reach break even with this round and not dilute shareholders further. And as a note of my previous background, I sold a company called Lucigen for 70 million 5 years ago. And at the dawn of my career, I invented a molecular biology reagent called TA cloning that made nearly $1 billion for a little company called Invitrogen that became Thermo Fisher. So I'd like to think that Terra Bioworks is a scalable business that has unicorn potential. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from our sharks?
I have a question. Sorry. Thank you, David, for your presentation. There are lots of people who are trying to do drug production, and how are you different from your competitors, and who would you define as your main competitor right now?
Great questions. So conventional drug production, and when I say natural products, I mean microbial-based drugs. These are penicillins, ampicillins, antibiotics, anti-cancer, antiviral types of things. And currently, old school pharma just tries to mutagenize the strains, chemical or UV light, to improve it. It takes decades. We're using synthetic biology. We sequence the genome. We go in and precisely cut out the pathway and put it into a heterologous host and overexpress it with these tools. And it's literally light years faster. Our competition is the old school method. Obviously, and some of the newer companies around fancy themselves as synthetic biology and natural product companies as well. There's quite a few of them. We're one of the only 2 on the planet. Ginkgo Bioworks is the other one that has the same sorts of tools that we have. They're chasing drug discovery. We're trying to get to revenues much faster with drug manufacturing of really complicated, slow, expensive manufacturing problems for cyclosporin and pledepsin.
Great, thank you.
Good morning. Really good presentation. I heard the word 100 like 6 times, so a lot of selling in there, which gives me the GVs. But you are building the technology for others to manufacture, or are you building the factory to build to make?
Great question. So we've been a CRO, contract research organization, for the last 5 years. We've done this over 134 times as work for others. And it's not a huge revenue generator, and it's not going to be a large ROI for our investors. So we're pivoting to making our own assets, and that's something that we've done before. We're just pointing it at 2 particular compounds this time that we will own and patent and license and sell.
How much are you raising again?
3 million. Sorry, I didn't answer your question completely. We are engineering the strains. We will license or sell the overproducing strains to the manufacturers. We're not going to be put more steel in the ground to make 1,000-liter vats of compounds.
Got it. And what was the valuation number?
10 million.
3 at 10?
Yes, sir.
Pre or post?
Post. I'm sorry, pre, sorry.
Let me ask you one more question. Pre or post?
Pre.
Pre. Got it. Thank you. Good work.
Okay.
Hi, David. Hi, David. This is Duran. So you guys are essentially like giving away 23%. If your post valuation is going to be about $13 million.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which stage is this round specifically?
We have some soft circled money, but without a lead. Nobody's looking to put in until we find a lead.
No. So let me be a bit more clear. Is this your first time raising capital?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is a Series A round. My apologies. We have raised 2.6 million from local angels over the last 5 years.
Got it. And that was on a safe?
It was just a regular, what's it called? A regular note. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Last question. How much were your revenues? You said that you did have revenues?
We're about $250,000 a year. It's taken us a while to figure out how to find customers. Digital marketing on LinkedIn is just exploding our customer base now. And we had normally gone to scientific meetings hoping to find customers that way. And of course, with COVID, it had really stepped all over that. But we're rebounding nicely with digital marketing through LinkedIn.
Okay, so you're raising over 40x times revenue. You have any thoughts on that?
Well, if you want to get these assets ready for this large upside revenue thing, that's what it's going to take.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Great
Mhm.
pitch.
All right, so let's get going. Right, no more questions. Right?
Yeah, let's continue with the next presenter, Greg. Greg Hodgin.
Yeah, hi. My name is Greg Hodgin. I'm the CEO of ZC Institute, and I'm going to make this insanely simple because sometimes less is more. And unfortunately, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. This, we can do this. We're asking for $2 million. That's the pitch.
Can you share what it is actually? Just a few words.
We can build microfusion reactors that are the size of 2 of your fists put together that produce a terawatt of power that run on water only. That's it.
David, you got a minute or two. Take it, educate us, don't?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. All right. So okay.
So if you are over 50 years old and you remember this very old movies from the 1990s and you know who McFly is and the doctor, you get what he's trying to do. I would love to tell you what he does, but if he's not stepping up, I'm not going to step either. There you go. Not very good, Dave.
I've never seen that movie, so I'm glad that Jordan mentioned that because I'm 36 years old. So
there you go.
What exactly is happening here? What's the business? Take your time and take the rest of your time. So for us that we're not over 50, to Mr. Jordan's point, we just give us a small understanding of what's going on with the business.
We are a fusion startup. The reason that I showed that is because when that was produced in 1985, that was considered science fiction. And now there is an ability to actually produce this in real life, where we can actually produce something, a fusion reactor that's the size of about 2 of your fists put together. We've done a good amount of the theoretical research. We're just doing proof of concept right now. Lawrence Livermore reached out to us 2 weeks ago, the guys who just did fusion, and want to partner with us as well. So we actually have national laboratory support with respect to this. If we are able to pull this off and do this correctly, then that means that we basically solve the world energy crisis, we solve climate change, and we can actually help solve the freshwater crisis as well. And we can also basically corner part of the world energy market when it comes to this. We're only doing licensing and patenting. We are not building anything. We're going to license that out to GE or somebody else to actually build the reactors themselves, but we'll be keeping all the IP for ourselves, and that's where we're going to make our money.
He's turning trash into energy.
Yep.
Interesting.
But even better, it's not just trash. It's not chemical trash. We're not burning or anything like that. It's nuclear. So you're actually getting 1,000 times the power that you get from burning coal or the mass equivalent of coal or oil or gas or something else of that nature.
Okay, so is this a B2B play or a B2C? Where do you stand inside of the marketplace?
I don't know what those terms mean.
Oh, okay. So are you selling to other enterprises? Or are you going to someone like Tesla and say, hey, we're better at energy than you guys are? Or are you selling to the consumer?
We're just selling to companies. That's why I said we will keep all the IP, but when we create the prototype, we're going to actually license that out to GE or somebody else to actually do the production themselves. We don't want to make any factories. We don't want to produce any of this stuff. We're just doing the R&D instead, and we're going to keep that as licensing. Usually licensing like this doesn't work, but when the market's this big, 3% is actually enough to get you by and make what you want. And it's fusion, Steeson, not fission. Fission has a bad habit of producing radioactive waste. Ours produces oxygen, helium, direct electrons, and energy. That's it.
So is the play, and this is Duran again, is the play for you all to become a subdivision or subsidiary research firm inside of one of the bigger organizations? And the reason I ask the question, because if you're going to them and you're saying, hey, we have this proprietary elements and our patent is very strong because we've had a lot of methodologies approved from the examiners, we can, are you selling it outright to them? Because I can imagine they may say, you're a pretty smart guy, but we want you to just buy it outright. Or are you positioning the pitch to say, hey, give us X amount of capital up front, we'll take a royalty in perpetuity. In addition to that, we can be a small division inside of your organization.
We're looking at both options. We might stay independent or we might be a subsidiary under somebody else. We're not entirely sure yet. But right now we do want to stay independent because as the technology grows, it's going to probably have unintended consequences, unintended directions. There are chances that you can use it for telecommunications. There are chances that you can use it for for computing, basically making computing faster, telecommunications faster. We think we can get rid of internet lag, some other things like that, but we're not sure yet until we actually finish up the proof of concept. We already have MOUs with 2 labs right now. We're working on MOUs with 3 more. The goal is to create a hub and spoke model. We have a central hub that's doing research, but each of the spokes is actually approaching this technology from a related but different perspective. So even if 5 of them fail, 1 of them still succeeds, but we keep all the IP in that regard.
So I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs. What I'll say is you're one of those smart ones where you probably can get in any room and talk to anyone. So I'm just going to keep it simple. How do I make my money back? I give you $2 million today. I'm not going to get in the way of a guy like you. You're much smarter than me about this. But how do I make my money back? Is it on a secondary sale? You raise 3 rounds and perhaps I can sell some of my equity to investors. IPO, are you sure you're going to be able to sell at a licensing fee that's commensurate with me getting an X return on my 2 million? Just like, how do I make my money back in this thing?
That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked because my advisors yelled at me quite a bit when they said people want their money back. And I said, I don't understand, but that's okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And one of the main ways that we're going to do that is that as we go on, we're going to be doing bigger and bigger asks because once we get to phase 2, which is going to be after proof of concept, we're going to need a lot of money. The good news is once we show proof of concept, we can go to big energy and we're going to ask them for a large amount of cash. And that's when you can do the buybacks. We can buy back what you we can buy back the equity that we gave to you, or you can stick around for that, or we might do an IPO. We're leaving our options open in that regard. But the reason that we're saying that big energy will be very happy about this is that if we can show proof of concept and we show that we've done it rigorously, we basically get to say you can either invest in us quite a bit, or one of your competitors will. We will perfect the technology, and then we're going to corner you and drive you out of business. And in that case, it's going to be in someone's best interest to go and sign on board. Also, the U.S. government's rather interested, Space Force and DHS and these other guys, because it's a national security issue, because fusion's a big thing. It actually decreases our dependence on oil, natural gas, and fossil fuels from overseas. So they're excited about it too. So I think that there's a lot of exit avenues in that regard. Now, with that being said, it will not be a year or 2. It'll be approximately 5 years. This is more of a biotech idea. This is more of a biotech growth curve. We cannot do a turnaround in 18 months, but we can do it in 5 years, and we can do it on very favorable terms for the investors at the beginning.
All right, thank you. We got
let's move on with Pavel Valentov. Pavel, are you here? Pavel.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I didn't share my hand, but I'm ready.
Go for it.
Nice to meet you. Yes. So hello everyone. This is Pavel Valentov from Angry Robot Deals. We are building an analytical platform for crypto and stock markets. I say we because this week an experienced tech leader and co-founder joined our project. Oleg is here to together with creation and deployment will be faster. We have big and strong competitors like Free Commerce and Crypto Hooper. Look at their audience and to take it to ourselves and even more. Over the past couple of weeks, we have been able to get more than $200,000 in cloud grants and support services. Many thanks for this also to Global World team. Now we deployed our project in a professional cloud. Doesn't look like a project on the knee. What we are going now, even though we see a lot of money in B2B SaaS, the fastest way is to launch in our MVP to private investors and traders. Therefore, in early February, we are planning to launch a website, personal account, CRM for private clients, and will allow us to demonstrate the product and results to business companies and in the future. So for start, we only launch out two products of 5 our products. This is a prediction of short-term trends in using machine learning, and the second is automatic arbitrage between crypto exchanges. So already,
please wrap it up.
Oh, pardon. Yes, this is robotic trading. trading and arbitrage. Yeah. So already some game mechanics for users teams implemented, and we will be testing it. So at the end of February, I plan to start the incorporation process in Delaware. And all the January, we develop website and scale our cloud services. In February, we plan to open possibility of buying a subscription for early adopters. As always, there is a lot of work ahead, and we are continuing.
Thank you so much. Please, everyone, please respect time. It's just 2 minutes, no more, just to let everyone to pitch. Okay, so dear investors, do you have any questions to Pavel?
Pavel, this is Jordan. Can you tell me simply, what do you do, sir?
Especially, we are predicting the short-term trends for every crypto coin on the different exchanges. This is one point, and we are using automatic trading on the crypto exchanges.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
More questions?
You are pre-revenue right now. You mentioned that you're just gonna start subscriptions in February. Do you have any revenue?
Sales.
Now I have not any revenues, but I planning to start it in February. Yeah.
Okay. What is your goal for 2023 when it comes to revenue?
My goal is to get at least $10 million of revenue.
In 1 year, by end of the year?
Yeah. There are million customers for our service. I believe it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's move on. Everyone, just prepare your elevator pitches so you like very to the point and give the exact information investors are asking. What you do, what's the problem you're solving, what's your traction, what's your business model, how you make money, and how much you're asking. So these are the basic questions investors are expecting from you, and maybe something else, but they will ask you during after your presentation. Okay, Holger, please go next.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Holger. I'm a serial entrepreneur. So my first startup was in online marketing, another one in blockchain. Now I'm into AI. So I'm talking about RealRate. That's a rating agency using artificial intelligence to create really fair and totally unbiased company ratings. And there's a backstory to it. So I was working as an appointed actuary in a big German insurance group, and I was responsible to talking to the rating agencies. Indeed, I was the one tweaking the data, and I saw, okay, they can be tweaked. That's not really fair. And then one day our big boss joined, telling the agency, listen, I'm expecting you to give me a AAA rating. If not, well, there are plenty of other rating agencies out there. So at that moment, I really learned there would be a huge conflict of interest and the rating won't be fair and but totally biased instead. So I quit a well-paid job and had my third startup. And what we do is we read in financial balance sheet data. We have a mixture of an expert system and an award-winning artificial intelligence. We create financial strength ratings. We are always covering all companies within one industry. And the trick is we're making it explainable, so there's no black box. With RealRate, instead you get a nice colored graph. As a manager, you see the causes and effects nicely colored, so your advantages become apparent. And this is done for all the companies. You don't need to read an annual business report anymore. That would take you hours, and now just have 2 minutes and you know what's going on. We had a successful product market test in Germany. Several billion-dollar insurance companies bought our rating seal. Last year, we entered the US market. Right now, we are covering 15 industries and 1,500 stock listed companies. And yeah, we will be selling rating seals, but the vision is broader. We would like to set up an AI-based investment advice and supporting due diligences and mergers and acquisitions. So there's a lot of big vision going on there. We are a team of serial founders, and we have a project starting here in Germany with Germany's biggest bank rating private customers this time. With real rate, we have a traction of 30,000.
Yeah, please wrap up, Holger. We have a little time.
That's okay. 30,000 revenues. We are raising 1 million at a 5 million valuation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from our chart?
Yes, Holger, hi. So you mentioned you already established an entity in the United States. Do you have any revenues in the United States? And if you do, what is the percentage comparing to your other European revenues?
We have just European revenues right now. We just entered last year, and this year we will be focusing on sales and marketing. By the way, this is the reason why we're raising.
And what is the total revenue for 2022?
It's 30,000. So it's still quite early, but technology is working fine. And now we would like to scale up on marketing, sales, and revenue.
Great. I'm sorry, is this your first raise?
No, we had a European Business Angels round 1 year ago. That was about 115K, and I already raised 1 million in my earlier startup. So it's not the first raise for me.
No, but it is the first dilution rate. So you're giving up 25% of your company, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right. Which is
Question.
Go ahead.
So how, I noticed that you guys started in 2016. Is that correct?
That's a German entity, and a bit more than 1 year ago, 1 year and a half, we founded US Delaware C Corp.
Yeah, so the the German entity, is that representative of the business that you're presenting today? Or did you flatline and start over when you incorporated in Delaware? I'm attempting to understand timeline.
Yeah, it's representative. It took me 3 years, like sitting in a dark chamber and developing the software.
Got it. So it was in stealth for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so why exactly are you raising at 90 times revenues? If you say your revenues were $30,000, your post money, you're raising $1 million, and your post money is close. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I guess the valuation is not too expensive. It's just a 5 million valuation. Last one was at 1 million. Of course, revenues are low, but we have the product, we have first customers, and we are scaling up. So I guess it's fair.
Yeah, so the only reason I ask entrepreneurs this question, because today, if we were to invest $1 million in your business and value it at $5 million, the idea is that you can sell it at the value that we placed on it as investors. So if all of us on the panel decided to place $1 million in your business, it's valued at 5 million. We don't know if that's going to mature to convince someone that they can sell it. So let's assume that you can sell it at the value we placed on the business today, $5 million. We only get 20% of that, which means we break even on our investment. So essentially, it's not about if you can sell at the current value today. When we make the investment today, we're placing the valuation on there. So our goal is to know that you can make it 2 more rounds to increase the value of the business, so that even if we dilute the value that we buy today, it matured over time.
Definitely.
This is why I ask a lot of founders about their thinking around their financial compass.
Yeah, definitely. So there will be other rounds, or maybe a favorite way for me would be selling it to one of the big agencies like Standard & Poor's and Moody's and Fitch. They have hundreds of thousands of employees, big budgets, and this is a technology they are missing. So selling it for 10, 20, 30, 50 million could be possible. That's my vision.
Okay, if there are no other questions, we should continue with the next presenter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Pavel Afanasyev, are you here? Pavel.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
For it. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, Sharks. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Pavel. I am the co-founder and CEO of Northern Lights Entertainment. We are a games studio, and we explore contemporary social issues and transform them into mass market games. Our first game, which is currently in development and is in testing since about November 2021, is a massively multiplayer strategy game, which will come out on mobile first and then on PC, where we let players take collective control over various political regimes and experiment with new forms of political governance. We have 2.2 thousand registered players so far. We have made over 50,000 euros in revenue or in 2022, even though the game is not yet live. We are a gender balanced team of 18 full-time employees. We're based in France. We have raised a pre-seed round of 325,000 euros in March 2021. And we're raising our seed round right now of 2 million euro. We already have 300,000 of these 2 million signed and wired to us, and approximately 700,000 in soft commitments. The purpose of the seed round is for us to finish the development of the game and to launch it by summer 2023. And our objective is to scale to 7.2 million monthly active players in 2 years from now. And I think, yeah, that's about it. And I'm very open for your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pavel,
Did you tell us your? Oh, sorry about that. Go for it.
After you, Miss.
Thank you. Did you tell us your valuation and your ask? The connection was a bit off, so I might have missed it.
So yeah, we're raising 2 million euro right now, and the valuation is 10 million euro pre-money.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Yes. So is a strategy, this is Duran, by the way, a great succinct explanation of how the money is actually going to work. So I appreciate that. And I'm sure my fellow comrades would as well. So as far as the game is concerned, you haven't launched the game yet. Is this going to be your first product in market, the video game?
It is going to be the first product in the market for the studio. However, our combined team has over 90 years of experience working in other video game studios prior to them joining
Got it.
Northern Lights. Yeah, we're looking forward to releasing our first game.
Yeah. So that's the skill set of the team. The reason I ask, as far as your distribution, have you all considered making a micro version of the game inside of Snap Minis or the Apple Arcade so that you can generate some revenue and then utilize that revenue to push your bigger game in addition to prepare people for the marketing of the main game? So for example, if the game is called Have Fun Game, you can have Fun Game for Snap Minis, Have Fun Game for Arcade, and it's preparing people psychologically for the big game that's coming from the studio, and you can utilize that initial leverage to push out your actual bigger game. Have you all considered that?
We didn't only consider it, we actually applied it in the sense of the playtests that we have been running since November 2021 are actually exactly in this format. We're taking a vertical slice of the game, which is a portion of the game that is going to be part of the bigger game, and we're actually submitting it to testers, both for their feedback, but also to observe the interactions that occur between the players already in this minimized version of the game.
That's all I have now. I would like for Daniil to definitely connect us offline so I could just dive a bit deeper on the revenues and as far as the efficacy of the game. But thanks.
Absolutely. One point that I would like to add here is that we're a B2C play initial, so we're selling directly to consumers through cosmetic microtransactions and essentially purchasing of skins and other personalization items within the game. However, due to the nature of the game, we have already been approached by the French Ministry of Defense, who it turns out has an entire department full of analysts who would like to model geopolitical and geostrategic risks based on the mood swings and political experimentation that can occur between free players within the game that we're currently developing.
Interesting. All right, let's move on.
Yep. Nathan DeYoung, I believe it's the next on our list.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, Christmas, New Year's, whatever you celebrate during that time. I am Nathan DeYoung from the USA. I know we got a bunch of different members from all over the world. So I'm from the USA and Illinois specifically. And with Asset Fund, we are helping individuals accessing and creating profitability within private businesses without all the risks. Essentially, what we're trying to do is give people the ability to invest in profitable private businesses that they haven't previously been able to access before. Traditionally, if someone wants to invest in a business, they have to go via the private or the public stock market or have large sums of cash. And so most people cannot take advantage of lucrative private businesses. And that's where we are stepping in to change that game for individuals that want to invest similar to private equity, but don't have an avenue to do it. And that's what we're looking to accomplish. A quick update on a competitor. We actually had a Fundrise, well, Fundrise not owned by us, but Fundrise is similar to our closest competitor here. They just launched a new fund, an innovation fund, where they are now investing in Series A, where individuals can publicly invest in a Series A for startup companies, not similar to some of the startup platforms out there. But so we have a similar to a proof of concept competitor. We're currently raising a 1 million 2-year convertible note pre-seed at 1% per annum with 20% discount at conversion. The plan is to raise 5 million over the next 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. And just a quick announcement, we have 50 minutes already in the meeting today. So we have 1 hour and 10 minutes left, and please respect the time, and everyone is up to 2 minutes, please. It's really important. Let's continue.
Right. Any questions?
So Nathan, are you basically building like a crowd investing platform? What is the mechanism behind it? Like especially SPVs, you know, going in and then just a bunch of smaller check private investors going into the SPV. Is that what are you building?
Correct. We would be utilizing SPVs as well as crowdsourcing. But instead of focusing on the startup market, we focus on existing profitable 2 to 5 year, 5 to 10 year type private businesses that would be acquiring. So similar to private equity, but in a public format.
You will be acquiring those, not just buying a share in those. You will be acquiring those businesses. And who is going to be running those businesses after you acquire them?
It would be a mixture of local operations or internal corporate entities, depending on the size and scale of the business that would require how that is formatted.
So does your team also have experience in running other businesses like that?
Yes, we just recently brought on an individual that ran a series of hotel chains that did a bunch of acquisitions and mergers as well. So he's going to be a huge key in helping our operations make sure that we're on target financially, as well as the process for how we acquire these entities.
And is this a dividend business model, or you plan to sell those businesses, you know, to the next level once you grow them?
So we would enhance and monetize that change and resell that businesses, as well as create a dividend type asset.
And you have a platform on like IT products supporting all of this? Is that you're raising for?
It's currently in the works. It's not released yet. The platform itself is going to be relatively simple. We're going to be utilizing blockchain to record the transactions for future economical growth, as well as partnering with Hogar on his platform to monetize and expedite the process of evaluating the companies that we acquire.
It seems like no more questions, or are there more questions from Ken?
Yeah, so really quick, this is Duran. How's it going, Nathan, brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. So yeah, we definitely be talking soon. But Zamir has sparked a question. So around the dividend, when you structure the crowdfunding platform, because one of the issues I've seen with the crowdfunding platform when they have the SPVs is
Hmm.
when the companies go to raise capital from institutional investors, sometimes they have so many people on the cap table where they have to change their structure and perhaps buy some of those original people out from the crowdfunding platform or place them inside of an LLC where they have the membership ownership.
Hmm.
And that particular LLC sits in one fund and that fund owns the equity in the corporation. What are your thoughts on how you're going to restructure it? Because I just really hate the current structure. I'm a corporate
Yeah.
governance head, so I hate the current
I completely agree, and that's been one of my biggest talks with the individual that we just brought on board. We're going to be doing a single purpose entity, so it would be a mixture of, let's say, we purchase 3 different SaaS companies. That would be investments into the LLC itself as a form of index fund. So you would invest directly in the LLC that owns those companies that would then be owned by the Delaware C Corp of Asset Fund.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, let's move to our next presenter, Dr. Justin Lancaster. Doctor, are you here?
Let me unmute.
Great.
Thank you all. Thank you for this opportunity to pitch. Terrific presentations before me. So this is some hard acts to follow. QuickBio intends to accelerate biomedical research. We intend to do that not 2 times faster, 4 times faster, but at least 10 times faster. Science today is slow. Slow science is the way that pharma and biotech move their knowledge ahead, as well as government, as well as academia. In the 1990s, I came out of a postdoc at Harvard looking at system science in the environmental science arena, and I discovered a way that we could accelerate science. This is related to computational modeling of dynamic systems. We tested a project in the Charles River watershed and cleaned up that river in a few years, but the science component was accomplished in 3 to 4 months, where the government and academia had not made progress in 20 years. We then turned to bring this into biomedical, and I teamed up as a business development VP with Evan Stieg at Molecular Mining in Canada, who was the first graduate under Jeff Hinton's group, University of Toronto, to apply artificial intelligence to gene expression studies for pharma biotech to reverse engineer the dynamics of molecular pathways. These projects were very, very successful, but the company didn't succeed for reasons of investors and a CFO and market timing. That was 2002, 2003, when we had the internet crash. A bunch of investors put their hands back in their pockets. Evan went on to do a number of startups in Canada, and I came forward in a number of CRO companies. In 2007, 2008, I filed patents, and we've now been granted 4 patents for what I call Fast Science version 3. And this is a play where we would have $8 a month subscription for citizen scientists, professional scientists, patients, family members, people who have a passion to solve a particular disease, but need the power to do it. So our Fast Science Gateway would put these citizens in the place of pharmaceutical biotech scientists, giving them that level of power to accelerate scientific discovery. We're looking for 500K safe to build out the prototype and launch in 9 months, and would love to answer further questions.
Dr. Justin, this is Tony. You threw a lot of names in, and you mentioned a lot of stories, but you really did not make an impact on me to say, I want to talk to Dr. Justin. I still don't know what you do. Is this a process? Is it technology? Is it an apparatus? What is it that you do?
It's a methodology for building a broadly public knowledge graph, knowledge base. It would be in the RDF framework, and we automatically can generate hypotheses based on a query that the user poses to the system. We lead the user very, very rapidly to the cutting edge of research in a subdomain of the system. So if you're talking about Alzheimer's disease, within 30 seconds to a minute, the user is at the cutting edge of the research in Alzheimer's disease, because we automatically create on the fly a causal network map, essentially a causal network graph. We can do reverse inference on the causation in the graph and generate hypotheses for the next experiment that needs to be run. That's then connected to 40,000 CROs.
Got it. So quickly, what's your business model? What's your forecast for next year? And what's the next round of funding you need to get to the next level? I got the 500K. What's next? Forecast for next year?
Okay. This year, in 9 months, we'd have a product launch. We have hundreds of beta testers that have been waiting for this product for a couple of years. We should have 1,000 to 5,000 users, and we expect 100 to 1 at least will convert to subscribers. We see potentially 50 million opportunity for the use of this product as it grows. It can be gamified. The conversion, we believe, to a subscriber at $8 a month is probably a marketing cost of about $250 per subscriber. We think
Purely subscription model, no licensing, no profit sharing.
We actually have a group in Florida right now that's reaching out to a number of telemedicine companies. 2 of our patents are telemedicine. Something like ZocDoc, for instance, is very close to infringing. We have a number of companies in this e-marketplace for biomedical research, particularly scientist.com. We've talked with them. Our automated research engine in the hands of pharma biotech will accelerate their business. So they'll partner with us as soon as we have a prototype to link up with e-marketplace. But yes, absolutely, we can out license.
I want to talk to you some more. When you have a chance, reach out to me. Let's talk some more. We spent money on companies like you before.
Wonderful. I'll put my info in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, if you may, just a short comment. I really like the background with all the information there. It was very very good to see, as an advice to everybody else, because you have only 2 minutes, but the information was right there with your email, what you're looking for, and what are you doing. So
thank you.
Props on that.
Okay, thank you. Let's move to Caroline Zhang. Caroline, are you here? Are you ready? You're muted, Caroline, if you're speaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Happy New Year, everyone. Well, wonderful to see all of you. And also I have been very impressed by this panel so far. You guys are critical thinkers and very supportive and helpful. And that's why I'm here today. And also now most of our presenters are contributing a lot for the world, for the external world and outside of yourself. You're devoting all of your energy for the outside world. So please allow me to turn the table around at this moment. Let's turn the camera into every one of you. Do me a favor. And I have a couple of questions for all of you. Are you ready?
Actually, Caroline, please, sorry for that interruption, but please proceed with the short presentation of the company, because we are short on time and we probably won't have time for questions.
Yeah, so this is part of the pitch. The first question is, do you consider yourself a well-being? And how are you going to rate yourself from 1 to 10? And then the second question, do you consider yourself a superhuman? From 1 to 10, where are you at? Something to think about. And also, are you feeling absolutely free and content inside of yourself? That's the foundation for infinite creativity. So anyway, we are here to provide solutions to help people to boost their well-being and superhuman status and characters, and also help you to achieve that complete free spirit, so you can have much less stress in life and achieve healthy longevity as well.
Karen, I don't want to interrupt, but please wrap it up. It's just you already passed time, but let's please take time, but please wrap it up, yeah, if possible.
So I'm the founder and CEO of Fifth Universe. We are Delaware registered and Silicon Valley based. And we did MVP last year. However, we pivoted it into the deeper level. Now we are raising fund to help us to build the virtual modules. We are working on about 70 virtual modules to achieve that, solution. And we need funding to continue to deepening these virtual modules. And excuse me, it's a pre-seed, pre-revenue at this moment. Our business model is we provide about 20 free modules for entry level, and we have subscription, special subscription package. Also, there are some modules are pay fee-based. And then also we issue tokens for influencers, for people who has established some status in our platform. And moving forward, it will be moving into the metaverse someday, maybe in a couple of years. That's our vision.
Caroline, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Caroline, thank you so much. I just want to remind everyone, it's an elevator pitch, 2-minute elevator pitch, and this is super important. We meet 2-minute time. It will let everyone to pitch. Otherwise, we have many people and we won't make it in 2 hours, and many people won't be able to pitch. But I do not like to interrupt. Just sorry about that. I know you have great products. So let's switch to questions to investors.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Any questions from our panelists? If we do not have anybody, Karen, you can leave your information, short description in the chat. So if anybody wants to connect with you, they can do so there. And we'll move. Yeah, you're welcome. We're going to move with Stanislav Skakun. Stanislav, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Go for it.
So, thank you. So, I'm a former corporate finance executive, but for the past 8 years, I've been in preventive health industry, building, some of the time I was building a startup. I'm going to pitch today. So I'm CEO and founder of BioData. We are creating a super application for processing all categories of health-related data, like genetics, medical records, nutrition, and wearable health-connected trackers. So our revenue model, our value proposition is that we unite all the data in one-stop application and process it for creating some individualized recommendation for people to reach preventive healthcare, longevity, and reach their long-term goals in healthcare. We are subscription-based. We launched our subscription in November last year, picking up early revenue traction now, and interviewing our users who collect their data through our app. And we have a plan to hit around $150K revenue this year. So the app is already in the stores. We raised $1.5 million to complete our R&D and bring our application primarily to India and Middle East markets as a first stop where we will be deploying our app. That's all I have to say, I think, to the questions. I will be ready to answer more questions from the board.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from our panelists?
Thank you, Stanislav. You're asking 150 and you do have an app. Have you had any traction yet? And what is the valuation of your company right now?
So we have the understanding that the conversion rate of the people who visit our websites, landings, is around 2% to subscriptions, which would be good, but this is very early assumption, which I think, and we will pick more data, and we will, through interviewing our users, will improve that. We are raising through safe agreement. I will be using a cap of $30 million on that agreement, meaning that at the next round, which will be Series A or later series, if I'm quite confident we will be hitting a great evaluation by that moment if we raise now, but if we do not, that means the share of the current investor who is entering in this round will increase. So I'm speaking about 5% share on 30 million cap right now, $1.5 million. But say we do not reach our business plan goals, that can be more than 5% equity.
Okay, thank you.
And you guys are pre-revenue right now?
I would say early revenue will have $10.
So just to be open with you, $30 million valuation with no revenue is almost impossible.
Sure,
It's not almost.
It's a safe agreement.
I say almost because somebody raised over 200 million with nothing, but we know all that story.
I do get that. So I'm actually thank you for this remark. That we are putting this in the agreement so that the valuation will be of course less. It's somewhere between 10 and 30.
Okay, let's talk. Reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, thank you.
So the app is in the App Store.
Yeah. Currently that. Sorry.
I couldn't find the app. I was searching for it. What's the name of it?
Biodata. I will drop a link via LinkedIn if you want to find.
Yeah, just really quick to Zamir's point and Mr. Jordan as well. Short of you coming saying that, hey, we have an app that has over 15 million users and it's growing 80% month over month. It's going to be very difficult to raise at that valuation. It's pretty expensive. It's not always about having the revenues, but definitely you have to have something that's going to substitute the lack of revenues. And I didn't hear that as far as your app is concerned when the question was asked.
Well, currently we have just 3,000 downloads and around 300 active users per month. So we're gonna grow that number by improving our users' experience, of course, and improving our application. But we do have some other business lines, so we're operationally profitable, and we do have some runway to do that before we raise. So we will be picking revenue and traction really quickly in the first quarter, and you will be able to see that later.
Yeah, just a quick comment. I'm going to pile on for everybody who's listening. When you have such a high valuation, it will be difficult for investors to take you seriously. So an opportunity like this, give us something we can feel and touch. When it's so out of reach, some of us, myself, will just turn off and just stop listening. So think of that, not you, everybody who is listening. And good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that we should move to next presenter, which should be Serik Jardem. Serik, are you here?
Yep, I am. Hello, everyone. My name is Serik. Can I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Let me just introduce some numbers. Today, annually in USA, 50 million people participate in 30,000 running events each year. That's excluding jogging. With jogging, it's like 120 million participants, and everyone participate in events with the hardwares like lots of equipment, beep tags, and so on. We want to basically replace it through computer vision. So shortly saying, we just doing computer vision solution instead of all timing equipment for racing sports. That's basically our idea. Technology that we are already doing is machine learning for models that we're already testing. It's kind of like an MVP with market size that I mentioned in USA only 10 billions. It's like a serviceable, obtainable market. With the progress, we went through acceleration program from Singapore VC. From top shortlist of 140 teams, we went to top 10, and business model would be earning from sport event organizers through subscription model. I'm sorry, through subscription and from the participant recognition. So basically, I represent my team. I have 10 years experience in sports, IT. I've been a Triathlon Federation Secretary General, and I know all these problems myself. So basically, yeah, that's it. I can move through questions. Thank you.
I have a question. Can you explain one more time what is exactly the technology is doing?
So basically, we put a camera at the start of the running event, and it does face recognition and body traction, and it's kind of estimates timing from start to finish.
Okay.
Is it the camera or is it?
It's a AI solution, so the AI model.
So the camera is a camera, and the facial recognition is just facial recognition, right? What do you bring together that makes you so unique?
It's a 4 machine learning models. It's a face recognition, body traction, and face pose detection. Plus, we do a virtual line. So basically, you don't need to put some offline line. You just can make it a virtual start-finish line or the checkpoints.
How accurate is it? This, usually these kind of things require a very, very high level of accuracy.
Yes, we are testing it right now. We already tested 3 test runs. The accuracy, it was like 80 to 90% when we didn't try with like masks, with hats on, and so on. But right now we're doing like this is like a neuron. We need to educate it. Like machine learning should need take time.
What's a believable TAM and SAM for you? What's your market size? A believable market size?
I'm sorry, you said TAM, right? It's
give me a market size I can buy into. Don't give me the $3 billion number. Give me something I could buy into.
So the global sport events market would be 27 billion. The sport events market.
I know, but it's like saying the automotive is 3 trillion, and I'm building a tire, and the tires, it's not the 3 trillion. What is your true SAM right now?
So we are aiming from, if it's 50 million participants per year, for 10% market share that we want.
Give me a dollar number.
That's a 5 million. That's a 2.5 million annual revenue.
Okay, so if your SAM is $2 to $5 million, you're not quite there yet. You're not quite in a place where you're going to get a lot of people knock on your door saying, let me in, I want to invest. So think of a different model where your SAM is substantially better.
Yeah, and I want to add one. I'll start where Jordan was, and then I'll ask a really quick question. One, when you think about your TAM, SAM, and SOM, it does have to be reasonable as to what you can extract from the actual market. So for example, if I'm telling the investors, hey, this is a $10 billion market as far as the TAM, the SAM specifically in this state is 200 million. The SOM is 15 million. We believe we can get a percentage of SOM. So you're not even going to get all of SOM. We believe we can get a small percentage of SOM. We believe out of 200,000 people, we can convert maybe 2,500 into customers. And that's a high number out of 200,000. So that's the thing, when, as investors, we can, okay, so you're thinking reasonably. Even if you don't get there, we know that you're thinking reasonably. But as far as the technology, I still don't understand. Is it a phone? You built software to integrate with the camera on a Snapchat or Apple Health Plus subscription? Like, what exactly is proprietary to what you're providing? Have you built another camera, or you're utilizing a phone and your technology works with a specific application? If you can answer that really quickly so we can move on.
Yeah, so we built a software that will connect to the front end. We may use a cell phone with a mobile app. We have a mobile app, so we have 2 products. We have a web admin panel and the application. So we may put a mobile phone at the start and finish, or you can use CCTV camera. It doesn't really matter.
All right, so quick last suggestion, focus on one vertical, something that we can actually grab to. So the idea, listen, Apple Health Plus sells subscriptions. this is what they don't have. We're going to tap into their API and add our technology in their APIs. So there's your distribution. It's already people utilizing Apple Health. And we just built the better camera mechanism to work alongside the Apple Health, and you can partner with them. Maybe that's a bit far-fetched because it's not that easy getting to Apple, but at least we can understand that, because when you say, oh, we have an app, we also have a webcam, it just takes us in so many different places, and then it becomes exhaustive.
Great, thank you.
We gotta move on. Cesar.
Yep. Artem, Mana Security, your turn.
Okay, here I am. Just a few seconds.
And just for everybody to know, because I didn't mention that before, please use your first and last name. Do not use the company name, or at least put it after the first and the last name. So.
Okay, got it. Sorry about that.
No problem. Go for your pitch.
Okay. So, hello to everyone. My name is Artem. I'm from Mana Security, and we built a desktop app that continuously tracks security vulnerabilities on macOS. We built an antivirus on steroids, best and fastest vulnerability scanner for macOS. Around 50% of all breaches began with unpatched software. People delay the installation of security patches for months due to a lack of visibility and motivation. We divide customers in two categories: individuals and businesses. Individuals include the security enthusiasts, cryptocurrency holders, and high-income individuals. The businesses have completely different needs. They realize that there is a need to patch vulnerabilities in time, but it's impossible for cybersec team to patch all vulnerabilities. Mana helps to patch all wounds without babysitting from cybersec teams. And we charge monthly for a paid subscription. A retail subscription costs $4.99 per month. Business subscription costs $3.99 per month. Vulnerability management is the fastest growing market in cybersecurity. Organizations use enterprise vulnerability management solution, Microsoft Tenable, IBM, Rapid7. They have issues with detection speed. Our product detects new wounds within 15 minutes and cover more than 1K most popular macOS apps. Our future growth will be in B2C, referral marketing, B2B bottom-up sales approach. We have 60 customers and more than 200 clients on a free plan. We also have 15 companies on the wait list and 6 LOIs, including Tieto and SEMrush. And we are raising $500K, and we are looking for a bridge $50K. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Quick question. This is Duran here. What's the thinking around the logo? Just a bit of a different type of question. It looks like Snapchat's logo.
Oh, maybe. Thank you for your feedback. Maybe we will change it, but it's looking that it's first feedback that it's very similar to Snapchat, and I will be working about this.
No, the reason I ask, because even when I look for the trademark, I noticed that a few people have the first part of your name, Mana, registered in the records. And I'm really big on intellectual property. I have to deal with this in my company alone, and it's very expensive. So even if you have another category such as Mana Security, the similarities, and so they have lawyers at these big tech companies, and their job is to look at the United States trademarks and patents, and their job is to say, hey, we see some similarities here. We want to file an opposition for this to actually be filed. And even if you can get a coexisting agreement for your logo to coexist with Snapchat's, it's a lot of money and it's unnecessary, especially if you get investors to fall in love with your brand. It's a lot of capital to actually change your brand. Now, this happens all the time. Companies change their brand names all the time, but I'm just giving you this information because you're starting so new and fresh. Is something else to think about.
Okay, got it. Thank you about that. Thank you. Got it.
All right, more questions?
Okay, If there are no other questions, we are going for Andrei. Andrei, please also, I'm gonna remind once more, please change your name to first and last name, and then probably company name. So Andrei from QR Pay.
Okay, thank you very much. You hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we hear you.
Fantastic. Thank you all for this opportunity. I'm Andrei from Spain. I'm CEO of QR Payments, which is the fastest and simplest way of order and payment in restaurants. You know that the 100% focus on waiter service reduce the income, the annual income around 33K per table. Also that the big majority of digital menus are unproductive and require more waiter attention per consumer. As a solution, we offer a comprehensive web app that allows make orders and payments by QR code through ergonomic and effortless to use digital menu. Our business model is B2B, and we monetize through a commission in every transaction. There are three benefits using our platform. It aims the restaurant to increase the average income and turnover by 20%, make the waiters get more tips and bonuses, and finally, the consumer save more time and get more satisfied. We are 4 experienced founders and already have fully functional MVP and testing it now in 1 restaurant. With great results, to be honest. Also, we have pre-contracts with 5 more restaurants. Our go-to-market strategy is making direct sales to the restaurant, integrate with their POS system, adapt the menu to their needs, and finally start the customer journey. At the beginning of 2023, we're planning to make a fundraise to improve our platform, adding more functionalities and continue getting more clients. In the next 2 years, our focus is to capture 2.5 million euros from the Spanish market. So to make all this happen, we are looking for investment of 500,000 euros with a bridge between 30 and 50K. If you're interested in our project, please contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's how I like it.
So Andrei, yeah. Hi. I've seen these, QR payments maybe 3 years ago, and it's a pretty red ocean, to be honest with you. So COVID stopped the development of that for a while. Then after everything reopened, now almost every restaurant has some sort of a QR code. How are you going to compete? What is, so special about what you guys are building? How are you going to outrun your competitors who already have thousands of restaurants?
Okay, our main differences between our competitors. First of all, we're offering like 3 services. The first one is digital menu and payment, the possibility to pay with the mobile phone. The second one is only the digital menu, and we get money between the scans, the number of when you scan the QR code. And the first one, the third one is the service with installment. We also offering installment payment in restaurant. For example, you go with your mates, 10, 20 people to the restaurant, and you can pay in the bill in 30 days or 60 days.
Okay, so you see, in this particular business, what is important is how many APIs you can connect to yourself, right? Because there's many systems that help run the restaurant. Yep. And the more you have, the better it is, which might give you an advantage over your competitors, because everybody's trying to win that. Like how easy it is to install. Because if you say, okay, in order to install me, you gotta create these QR codes, you gotta put it on every table, etc., etc. That creates a lot of hustle for the restaurant. And if you plan to do it yourself, that gives you a lot of offline part of business that you really don't want to run as an IT company, like go into each restaurant and install these QR codes on every table. So you got to think a little bit, while you're in early stage, how you're going to outrun the competition, because they've been there, they've done that, and you got to come up with something like, a little more interesting. For example, one of the startups that I was consulting is actually helping to split the check and to tip the bar separately and the kitchen separately, using a QR code. So these kind of functions might give you an edge, against your competitors. Think about it. But right now it's really a red ocean, so you're going to have a tough competition.
Okay, so we also offering this opportunity, like to pay tips to the restaurant have lots of payment methods as well. So we need like the investment to work in our like
it's not only
integration.
paying the tips, so it's splitting the check between the people and
Yeah.
paying tips separately to the bar, because in some countries bar is a separate license and kitchen is a separate thing. So there's a specifics for what.
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Yeah, just to add to that, it's also the behavior shift, because when I'm sitting at a restaurant, my behavior is common to say, hey, here's my card, take my card, or in some cases the restaurant. I'm not sure exactly how it is in Spain, but the individuals can bring over the machinery and swipe your card in front of them. So let's assume that that's not even going to be the case. We have other mechanisms such as Cash App and Apple Pay, Apple Cash. So what happens if Cash App through Square, because if Square is the mechanism that's utilizes the POS system, says, you know what, we're going to add with the product that we own, Cash App, splitting, because we already have the distribution and the market share, so that we can just add this particular technology inside of Cash App where it works directly in conjunction to the POS system. Another thing I thought about was, how do you position yourself against Toast? Because Toast owns a very large market share. So I do agree with Zamir's advice as far as really understanding, and this to all founders, I'm going to borrow what Jordan did earlier. You have to really solve distribution. You can have the greatest idea in the world. You can even raise capital from us. If you don't have a clear path to distribution, you're going to have a really uphill battle. And a lot of that starts with understanding the behavioral patterns. Because even someone like me that's super tech savvy, I'm still traditional when at the restaurant. I don't want to pull out my phone. It's not even near me because I want to focus on my family. So I have to literally think to grab my phone to actually make that transaction where my card is already there. I even get my card before we sit down so that my family and I can actually enjoy in that moment. So that's something to consider as well.
Yeah, to be honest, our solution is not for every restaurant. We have like a target, and our target is fast food restaurants. When you have a lot of clients, and the people can, like, you have very big traffic of clients, and you and the users have this time to scan the QR code, make the order, eat very fast, and leave the restaurant. So this is our target.
Thank you.
I know if I answer you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
We have 13.
Let's wrap up.
13
Yes.
pitches left, and we have half an hour. So I'm sure, seems like not everyone will make it. Just be ready for that. You would need to email us, and we'll make sure that you will go first. Those who won't make it on the next speech, so you go first. We'll definitely make sure if you don't make it today. So let's start.
And basically to continue the conversation with us either via email or LinkedIn or whatever, we're gonna leave the contacts in the chat. So we're gonna continue next with Diana Diopfert. Did I pronounce it correct? Diana? From Unibits.
Was quite good. Yeah, I noticed I was still on mute. Yes, I'm Diana Depford from Units. We have a learn platform for adult education. We are focusing on language schools, but we are also open for other types of businesses. So far, we have found that, for example, also we have an interested driving school and a health center interested in using our product as well. Our product is different to our competitors because we're using a different software architecture, a modern software architecture. So we also be able to add in new features if needed very fast into the product. Also, our interaction on the platform is more like a real life interaction. I have 20 years of experience as a teacher in different fields. So I was quite frustrated in the Corona time with other teachers as well, using other platforms. And out of that, we developed our platform for the adult education field. Are there any questions to it so far?
So is this a learning management system that you provide to content creators?
Yes, that's what it is, yes.
Again, a lot of competition out there, big players that do provide platforms. How do you help those content creators? I mean, do you give them the audience? Do you provide anything else, any guidance on how to build the proper educational courses? What else do you do?
Yes, other platforms all offer just a classroom. We have an all-in-one solution, so we also different. We offer an organization system with our classroom itself. So say for example, school admins can have an overview. We have like a lot of collected data on like when a student signed up, when he entered the class, when he left the class. So teachers no longer have to take attendance, all these things. There can be programs within the system and have a courses below, and each course has a lesson as well. And because our software architecture is different, we're using smaller building blocks. The communication is faster. So on our Blackboard, there can be like 30 people working at the same time on our Blackboard, or we can hand worksheets back and forth. So if a teacher
Sorry, for the sake of time. Now, what is your current traction? How much revenue did you make in the last year? What are your projections for the 23?
At the moment, we spent 2 years building the product, it's because it's a software product, and we are about to go live. We have already customers on the product at the moment, and our projection for 2023 is to have about 300,000. It's a projection for the year.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Let's move on to speech.
Yeah, Elena from Raccoon. Elena.
Yeah, here I am. Yes.
Go for
Hello.
it. Hello.
Okay. Hello. My name is Elena. I am from Raccoon, and we are making hotel linen control simple and fast. So in an average hotel, counting an inventory are done manually and take too much time. Besides, there is no information about the textile's lifetime, whereabouts, and other details whatsoever. That leads to mistakes and resources overuse. As a result, on average, as much as 20% of hotel textiles a month are lost or discarded before the end of their useful life. And we have developed the Raccoon RFID-based platform with which hotels receive high-speed counting, traceability, data history saved, and automation of core processes together with access to planning and reports. We suit tags into each item of textile and onboard the system for free. We charge for usage 8 cents per each washing cycle of one tag. And the service we provide applies to any hotel in the global hospitality market with a TAM of over $24 billion and $60 million sum planned to be reached in 5 years. Our target clients today are 3 to 5 hotels, 3 to 5 star hotels with over 100 rooms. In the global market, there are companies providing integrated laundry systems as well, or RFID technology installation. However, the need for a system enabling all-in-one functionality is still high. We are the ones offering end-to-end service with flexible payment and no worries about onboarding for our clients. Today, we have raised an investment bridge of 30,000 euros and we'll onboard our first paying hotel in Riga and started client acquisition in Barcelona, Spain. All the members of our team are working on the project full time. We have over 10 years experience in running industrial laundry chain and tech experts as our CTO and CPO. Now we're looking for $400,000 in investment with $5 million valuation for the development, finalizing, scaling sales, and for the promotion. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. Ready to answer questions.
Thank you, Elena. I think that the issue of textiles and everything that comes with it, including, of course, the pollution and destruction to the environment, are very current. However, I think that you have already a lot of competitors who are
Yeah,
I've lost my internet connection, or
probably Angelica lost the connection. So
I think I got the question anyway, because I know what Angelica is talking about. So our competitors, most of all, they mostly onboard for money, okay? And we do it. Yeah, now we hear you. Again, no.
Yeah, Angelica.
Sorry, did you? Sorry, did you hear me? Okay.
Now, yes, but
okay,
I couldn't.
So sorry about the waste of time. So I was asking, there is a huge amount of sensibility towards these issues in the industry, especially in the 4 to 5 star hotels. Have you considered at the competition coming from blockchain technology? And have you analyzed your competitive landscape in order to position yourself differently?
Yeah, we know that our competitors are, for example, company named Laundries in the United States, but they provide laundry services, and they are so they can't be so widespread as we can. And most of our competitors provide their service with paid installation, so they take money for the installation, and it's really not so good for hotels. So to make their decision faster, they like when you onboard for free, as we do, and we just charge for the usage. It's much more quicker, much more faster to implement this like this. So
let me ask you a quick question. So you said that you come and you basically sew some tags onto existing
into each textile item. So
textile, yeah.
is it a pillowcase or something else? We just sew in a textile tag.
Would it make more sense to work with the production companies for that textile? So you kind of implement that offline part into the production process, because it seems that that's going to create a lot of hustle for your IT company, coming in to each hotel and just doing a lot of sewing.
Well, for now we're doing we like to make it like all in one, service, just to come to install and just to let it go. And in future, we of course would like to maybe be partners with such companies that, for example, they give
I understand.
rent to hotels.
I understand. So it's just, again, for the sake of time, I always try to advise startups to kind of move away from the offline part of the business, because that's what's going to slow you down dramatically when you try to scale. Because such an operation, I mean, just to do one hotel, onboarding of that might take you a couple of weeks, and that's a long time for onboarding one customer when it comes to IT products. So think about ways of partnering with somebody else who can do that part of the job, maybe with a profit sharing model together with you, but focus on the IT part, on the data part, on providing the value that you actually want to provide without doing all the maintenance offline.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on. Lechazar. Okay, so the next would go Andy Deng. Let's go next.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Andy Deng, and my company is Art C2C, and my project is replacing the blockchain. And you might think this is too ambitious. Well, the blockchain itself is very hot since 2021, and many central banks are interested investing blockchain and cryptocurrency, of course, and supply chain, people are interested as well. Like QBank, they bet supply chain using blockchain. They had the opportunity for business of $50 trillion. Is a T, it's not a B. Okay, and why I'm so confident about the blockchain, to replacing the blockchain. It's just because blockchain is not secure. Blockchain uses the key. Every block needs to use key to encrypt it, to decrypt it. And my system is not using key. Okay, it's using biometric, your real identity, to decrypt the message. And blockchain is a chain. It's in sequential processing. And my system is using AES, Advanced Encryption Standard. It's a block crypto, so you can process it in parallel. And the most
advanced blockchain processing is 1.7 million per second, million transaction per second for now. But for my processing,
please wrap it up.
Is per
last time, please wrap it up.
Okay. There are many government, many worldwide countries interested with me, like Google, Microsoft, Apple, Metaverse, all the big companies. They try to search me, and I was told that I'm wasting time, but I'm bringing this gospel to you all. And some people, some investors told me that I probably need couple $100 million. And my plan is start up a R&D laboratory and have other investors to start up companies with other industrials.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
So let's turn to questions. If any. Are there any questions to?
So I'll just give some advice and feedback. When you're talking about blockchain technology, so it was kind of confusing because you said you want to replace blockchain, then you started talking about biometrics, which ironically, both biometrics and blockchain technology is utilized with programming language C++. So the blockchain technology itself, it's built on a framework of programming languages that allows a process to work. You could simplify it thinking about it as transparency and trust. So when you say you want to replace blockchain technology, remove away the word blockchain, you're saying that you're going to change C++ and the other programming languages that are, yeah, so it was kind of confusing when you said that.
Yes, my system is totally hardware oriented. It's not software. Blockchain is software oriented, so everybody can use C++ or Python to decipher your keys, right? And it happens already. In March 23rd, some company lost $600 million. Just 5 cryptographic keys has been compromised.
Yeah, so I don't want you to get lost. I don't want you to get lost in explaining again because we do have to move on. But yeah, if you're going to pitch the idea that you want to make the process of keys not being compromised better, that's something completely different. But when you're talking like polymorphism and different JavaScript nodes, replacing blockchain technology, it wouldn't be communicated in that type of capacity unless you're saying, hey, here's a new language that replaces C++, whereby if you're going to build blockchain, you can utilize this new programming language that is going to provide you better blocks than if you utilize the blockchain built on the C++. So yeah, you probably should go and do some more R&D on what you're thinking about, because I understand if you want to ensure that we can have more access to the key technology that's better. Apple is working on something like that, and they recently talked about it in WWDC. But what you're saying is something completely different. But again, so that we can move on, just really take that under advisement.
Yes, thank you for your advice, and it's probably my bad because your concept is totally from software-oriented concept, blockchain concept, and my product is totally different. It's not traditional security.
No, I get it. I
Different.
get it.
Okay.
But the blockchain and hardware work in conjunction to each other. So the blockchain technology sends the communication, but it's still connected to hardware on the back end. So I get what you're saying. Again, I just want you to like take the advice. This will be on YouTube, so you can rewatch it, so you can take some notes and go back and do some more homework.
Thank you so much. Let's move on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's move on with Mike Skura. Mark, are you ready?
I am.
Go for it.
Thank you very much. Tour Trader Pro is a technology and entertainment company that's changing the way the world bets on sports. Sports, in particular, sports betting is the most popular forms of entertainment on the planet. However, the problem is the business of sports betting has not changed since the ancient Romans were betting on chariot races. As a sports book or a casino, you have to get the odds just right to make money and attract people to your platform. There are hundreds of companies out there offering the same basic product, and the only way to differentiate themselves from the rest is to either take extra risk by setting more favorable odds for the users or to provide costly cash incentives to bring people to the platform. By changing the way a traditional sports book makes money and eliminating the binary nature of a sports bet, Tour Trader Pro created an entire new business of a sports exchange where you can buy and sell the performance of professional athletes like you do stocks in the stock market. We built a platform that's incredibly intuitive and easy to use. It's 3 clicks from download to placing your first trade, maximizing fan engagement and time on the platform. We've been live in a free-to-play version since March of 22. We have a database of over 30,000 prospective players and a world-class distribution strategy. We're 1 month away from being live trading in the US, UK, and Australia, and our game is patent pending. We're looking to raise another $500,000 in a bridge for a convertible note, 1-year term, 15% interest, $10 million cap. Thanks very much for your time, guys. And Edie.
Mike, that is a very ballsy claim. It hasn't changed since the Roman. And I come from a place where there's Roman theaters, so I'm familiar with the Roman Empire. That's a very ballsy claim. So tell me, 500K bridge, how much have you raised and why do you need a bridge now?
Yep, so we raised 500. We need the bridge to get a couple of key things in place from a regulatory and distribution standpoint. And after we get those key pieces in place, we'll be ready to raise a Series A, which is going to be a 7 to 10 million Series A on a $40 million valuation. So you can Forex your money basically in 3 months.
Be careful with SEC regulations. Don't they make those claims on public, please. So thinking out loud, you need another 500 on top of 500. Is this a thrive or a survive 500? Do you need it to continue or do you need it to grow?
I needed to enter the market in a massive way. I don't want to dip my toe into the marketplace. I need to slam the door open and create and partner with, get the pieces in place that need to occur to go into the market in a really big way. So this isn't a survive situation. We're going to do $10 million in revenue next year, and it's going to take us $2 million to do it.
Are there any risk of not getting a license, or spending too much time?
No, it's just it's money and paperwork.
So the magic question is coming. DraftKings holds 24% of the market share. FanDuel holds 36% of the market share. FanDuel raised over $416 million. DraftKings raised over $719 million. How does that work? I'll just keep it straight to the point regarding your company.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a valid question from an industry outsider, right? When you're looking at it from the outside perspective, we're not competing against FanDuel and DraftKings. We're playing a completely different game. We're going after a completely different user base. We're building a brand that's very focused on a very particular thing. Those two companies are looking for the average player that's looking to place $10 on a Sunday football game, and we're going after a completely different subset of the demographic. We need 10,000 users to do $15 million in revenue. It's a very
So I want to build on that. Your entire market can be a small vertical for them. So when I hear entrepreneurs say, "Oh, we're different," and I say, "Okay, that's fair," but explain to me the exact white space. And when it's explained, it has to be something where the subsidization is going to allow you to almost force the big entrant not to enter because they don't have time to compete with the smaller margin of their business. But if you are going to gain any traction, and it will cost them every bit of $100 million to build something out if you were to grow at X value, but if they stop you at Y value for $20 million, so it's not so much about if they're in the market today, you can convince them to come into the marketplace, and then you're competing against stopping them from growing, which is going to take you away from your initial business focus. So that's never a proxy to get excited about saying, hey, we're in a different space. Your big market can just be a small vertical for them, and they can say, hey, we're going to lose capital on this, but we're not going to allow that company to grow. And in fact, let's partner together, FanDuel, to ensure that it's just us two at the top. and let's really just drain them out of the market. Let's spend $250 million to drain them out of the market. So I'm not saying you don't have the answer to that, but that will be the thing I would want you to answer to convince me that you're not going to get crushed, as Kevin O'Leary would say, like a cockroach. And I mean that jokingly, by the way.
I appreciate your point of view and opinion, and we've talked to both FanDuel and DraftKings, and you know, we can certainly have a deeper conversation about that offline and why they're not interested in doing that.
All right, thank you.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's continue. By the way, we have 5 more minutes, so please everyone keep that in mind. Well, next one is Keith Adji. Keith, are you here? You are muted if you are speaking. Keith.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, but your camera is not on.
Hello. I wasn't expecting that I was gonna get called up, but however, thank you for the opportunity.
Go.
It is my very first time here, and I will keep it very short. We're a business and technology consulting company. We're a startup company, and we're just looking for opportunity to expand. And in terms of budget, we're looking for about $500,000. And what $500,000 is going to do for us is going to enable us to invest in a marketing developer, invest in our development team, and also invest in our systems and operations. Okay, so we are targeting, starting from our own locality, we're targeting about 1,000 customers between in the year of 2023. Basically, that's our 5-year goal because we're actually trying to set realistic goals. So what does 1,000 customers going to do for our business? It's we charge about $50 for hosting, $50 for maintenance, and about $15 for hosting services. So all of this is going to translate to about almost $4 million in if we get this 1,000 customers. It is going to translate in almost $4 million in about less than 5 years. Okay, at the rate at which we're growing, if $500,000 is going to get us to a point where we'll start seeing a revenue of almost $5 million, almost. And technically, this would translate to about $10 million in about 5 years. This is why, because there are other services that we provide within our business consulting that 1,000 customers will be able to secure them to be able to directly and indirectly utilize other business services that we provide, which 2 minutes isn't enough for me to explain. But realistically, the area that we're willing to use this $500,000 to develop is in a web hosting and development services. And we are seeing the opportunity. We have the resources. What I mean is resources, but not the financial resources to actually approach the marketing on that level that will be able to generate at least 200 customers every year, which will amount up to about 1,000 customers in 5 years, which is
basically wrap it up with your past time.
So today we're asking almost $500,000 to invest in these areas. And I'm very open to what the investor would want in return, because it's very open. I like to hear different options and see what is a good fit for the company. Thank you.
90% of the company for 500,000. Yeah.
Well, 90% of the company, that will be throwing us under the bus. You know.
So in all seriousness,
yeah, no, go for it, Duran.
No, by all means, Angelica, you got it. I'll wait up to you.
I was just going to suggest to Keith that you have an interesting business. I think.
Karin,
yeah, I think the Lord, the gods does not want Angela to speak today.
Hear from your
Yeah, maybe we have another question.
Maybe someone else could take it up while we wait for Angela to reconnect.
Angelica,
we have her now. Angelica, we missed you. If you can repeat.
Yeah, sorry about that. My connection is not great today. So what I was going to suggest to Keith is please work on your pitch. Because when there are structures that Go Global World provide, and they're very, very helpful, it's important when you pitch that we understand how we can help you. Otherwise, it's just going to be a conversation that we can carry on, but it's not going to be very useful for you. Okay.
I appreciate that feedback.
So did you say that you were a technology consultant?
So we are business and technology consulting. There's two sides of our business. So we actually find ourselves under the side of a business operations consulting, and on the side of business technology consulting. And on the business side, what we do is we provide web development and hosting. So we design websites that for different businesses, any kind of business. So we provide that at a very competitive rate, such that we're able to encourage small businesses that are starting up. And
So on the technology side, what about the technology side? What are you consulting?
So we are actually a software development company as well. We have a product out there that basically we've designed for the.
Okay, so let me ask you, and the interruption is not in the sense of not giving you a lot of time. We're just rushing, and I want for us to exchange really fast. Are you a software engineer? Is that your background? And the reason I ask that because a lot of consultants, they'll have a framework whereby they understand the construction of what needs to be done for a company, but then they'll go in and hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork and offset the job to someone else. Like the people that work with you directly, are they software engineers, so they have a background in product management? So if I come to you with a technical problem, you can not only give me advice on it, but you can possibly help me in real time to understand my thinking or solutions around it.
Correct. Personally, I'm not a software developer, but I do have a team in place, and I do not go to these places that you just named. I do have a team in place that are software developers, and they can actually advise you based on industry standard what kind of product.
Yeah, but do they work for your company?
Yes.
Or are you hiring another company? Okay,
They work
great.
for my company. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. So
think we all
we have any more questions, or we are wrapping up?
Why don't we wrap
Questions
up?
for me?
You want to give each one of us a minute or half a minute to just give you a summary of our impression, guys?
Yes, please. So everyone, dear investors, like 10 to 15 minutes, 10 to 15 seconds, up to 1 minute, please give us some summary of today's talk. And before you start it, everyone, thank you for your pitches. Really great projects. We really appreciate your time. And I'm deeply sorry that not everyone could make it today, but what we will make sure is next week you participate and you will go first. Just email us at info@goglobal.world. You will be among the first to pitch. We really appreciate that you stayed to the end, and we definitely will make sure that you guys will get a priority. And the other thing is Go Global World get the priority anyways over everyone else to pitch first. Just make sure to subscribe if you want to. Please, dear investors, just give us your summary of today's talk and some recommendations and wherever you want to share with startup founders today. Angelica, please go first.
Thank you. So once again, thank you for all the pitches and thank you for all the fellow judges for the interesting feedback. I think that what transpired today is a need to work on the valuation. As you all know, valuation is more an art than a science at this stage of development, but we need to have some assurances that you know how to value your company using methodologies that are commonly accepted. Other than that, just well done, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Angelica. Kenneth, your turn.
Yeah, so I took a lot of notes on my other screen just listening to everyone. Some of the startups that were pitching, it was quite hard to identify what the target audience was, what the problem you're trying to solve. A lot of them, it wasn't very clear for me. You all talked about, what is the solution? But really, I have no idea what the problem is. So why should this, startup exist? And then validate that with saying, hey, we have some type of traction. That's going to make it very clear for me to identify, where you are as far as your startup phase.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Appreciate that. Samir? Microphone off.
Sorry, I was on mute there for a second. Yeah, thanks again for the pitches. I always say that practice makes good. So before doing it the next time, please practice a lot. You have only 2 minutes. So try to, identify the important things to talk about: the problem, the solution, the team, the current traction, your ask. What is it that you're asking? Work on your numbers. Make sure that you understand, where you stand with your revenues. what kind of multiples exist in the market today in your field, what kind of valuations you can talk about. And what I'm especially interested in typically to see what are the next milestones that you plan to reach. Like, let's say today you have 30,000 revenue, but hey, we're gonna 5x it by the end of the year, and etc. So it's always good to see that you have a real plan of action of what you plan or what you're gonna do, and how you're gonna become successful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the great words. Jordan, your turn, please.
Thank you. Just echo my appreciation of what you guys do and all the companies. Pitching is really not easy. Guys, if you're a company, you have arrived to a stadium full of founders like you. The business of pitching, you should be able to master it and do it in your sleep. There's thousands of other people pitching. You're not here to raise money. You're here to build a company, but this is a part of it. What I liked is several of you were very concise, very clear what they wanted, and they just went about it. That tells me they were prepared. Some of you tried some novel approaches that didn't quite work. Learn your audience. This is an audience of a 3-minute pitch. Make it concise, make it clear. I'm not looking for a freak pitch. I'm looking for a clear delivery of information. You do that for me, I will talk to you any day of the year. But if you try something weird, not so much.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Appreciate that. Duran, your turn.
Yeah, and I like to thank the Prestige panelists as well, and the Go Global World. I appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to come and talk to founders. I'm a founder myself and a venture capitalist, so I sit on both ends of the ledger. So to Mr. Jordan's point, I understand that. I would say one of the things that really stood out to me today was really not understanding their market. So if you're saying to us your total addressable market is X, your SAM is Y, and your SOM is Z, I coined something and I call it TOM, your targetable obtainable market, because that's going to be a percentage of SOM. Because even with the serviceable obtainable market, you're probably not going to be able to get 100% of that. So then what are you targeting of SOM? So after SOM, I call it TOM, targetable obtainable market. And just do some homework, ladies and gentlemen. You have YouTube, you have Shark Tank, you have so many different things available to you on the internet. You have all of these big VC firms, tier 1 firms, the Andreessens of the world, the Sequoia. They have so many videos on YouTube, and you can really understand how to make your pitch succinct. The other thing is, you may know your business, but try to not communicate to us as if we sat with you for 17 days and learned about it. So I know it's hard to keep it super simple because you just want to tell us everything. But really, in this case, outside of the cliche, simple is best. Because once you get our attention and we take it offline, then we're automatically going to be calm and sit with you for a long time to really go into the weed of the details or the minutia. So I would say really understand your market. Lastly, don't assume because your competitors or a big guy is not in the market that they won't get in the market once you gain some traction. I was taught a long time ago when I was building a music platform, like 15 years ago. I was talking to one of my lawyer buddies in Detroit. He said, "What are your competitors?" I tried to mentioning, "Oh, the Apple Music here." He said, "Listen, anyone that brings music to the phone is your competitor." Now, that may not have been true in principle, but it made me think differently. So don't assume that these people won't get in the market just to actually take you out. But please focus on your market and consider TOM, targetable, addressable obtainable market, which is a subset of SOM. But everybody, you did great. I can sense the confidence there. Just have to retool a little bit in the presentation. But great work, everyone.
I love the feedback of every investor. So applause to the startups, applause to the investors. Really great panel, and every time we put a lot of effort to bring the best people like you are, and really appreciate every investor participating today. So we kicked off 2023 today, and this is fantastic news. I think we had amazing founders, amazing projects pitching today. I really appreciate everyone participating. And one thing I want to say that I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to do an elevator pitch in front of everyone, and I will post this on YouTube as an example. And you can throw stones at me for making all the mistakes and wherever. So yes, I'm going to do it. Just you guys can take it as an example, hopefully good example. And yes, this is going to be on YouTube very soon with all the explanation, all the steps. So I hope to make your life easier and convince investors to get time with you, take some time with you for further steps, because this is exactly the opportunity we're trying to create, bringing the right investors, bring the right projects, connecting you, and you guys take it further. Hopefully, it will lead you to the funding. So thank you so much. And I just want to ask everyone to become beta testers of our new app. This is a Tinder app application that we are now inviting everyone to join. This was posted on the chat. So if you want to participate in this first beta version, just join us, subscribe, register there, and you'll get access soon. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
One last thing, Daniel. Hey guys, if you're a founder, join GGW platform, pay the $60 a year. It is worth it. It is absolutely gold. Spend the money. He's done a great job in assembling that platform for you. Just go in there, do it. And I'm not getting commission or paid for this. I just love what he does.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and if you're in CES this year, I'll be in CES for a few days. Let's connect. Also, Jordan, Angelica, Zamir, and Ken, thanks so much. I'll see you all next week. This was amazing.
Yeah, and the final thing I want to say that if any of the investors want to connect with any of the founders today, just email us. We will definitely connect you 100%. Thank you so much, and have a great the rest of the day, and see you next week, guys. Goodbye.
Thank you very much too. Bye-bye.